I am pleased to invite the First Lady of the plurinational state of Bolivia, Her Excellency Maria Elena Uriquidi.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the First Lady, Melania Trump, for bringing us together in such an important initiative. I would also like to extend a warm greeting to all the first spouses present here today and Deputy Secretary of State, Chris Lando. Es un honor representar a Bolivia hoy día.
It is an honor to represent Bolivia here today.
A country that is diverse, resilient, and full of history, but above all, full of people who move forward every day with strength and dignity. Bolivia is not just a place on the map. It is a living reality shaped by families who struggle, by children who dream big, and by women who carry their homes, their communities, and their future on their shoulders. And it is from that real Bolivia, not from theory, that I want to speak to you today. Today, the world talks about artificial intelligence, innovation, and the future. But Bolivia, for many, the conversation starts much earlier. It starts with something more basic, more urgent, more human. It starts with a simple question: how do we access? Because for thousands of children, young people, and women, the challenge is not how to use the technologies of the future. It is whether they will ever be able to touch them at all. In our country, having a device or access to the internet is still, for many families, a luxury. There are homes where the digital world is not a part of daily life, not because they do not want it, but because they simply cannot afford it. And that is where this stops being a technological issue and becomes something much deeper. It becomes a question of dignity, of fairness, of opportunity. Because when a child grows up with access, they do not just lose tools, they lose confidence, they lose possibilities, they risk losing their future. That is why in Bolivia, we hold a clear conviction. Technology cannot become a new form of exclusion. It must become a bridge forward, a bridge toward equality, and that bridge begins with the most urgent step: access. Today, we are supporting initiatives such as one laptop per child, together with partners like CEAL, Consejo Empresarial de América Latina, Educa Bolivia, and Aulas Conectadas, to place digital tools in the hands of children who might otherwise be left behind. But we also understand something essential. A device alone does not change a life. What changes a life is what comes after: learning, guidance, the confidence to believe I can. That is why we support programs like Crack the Code, where children, young people, and women are learning not only how to use technology, but how to understand it, create it, and grow through it. They learn coding, computational thinking, artificial intelligence, English, but more importantly, they learn something deeper: that they are capable. And when a person understands that, everything begins to change. Doors begin to open, opportunities expand, independence becomes possible. At the same time, we know that progress must be guided by responsibility. We cannot talk about technology without talking about safety. Without digital education, without responsible use of artificial intelligence. Technology must empower, but it must also protect. And this is not a challenge any country can face alone. Governments, educators, families, civil society, and the private sector must move forward together. Because if we do not, innovation risks remain in the hands of a few, and that cannot be the future we build. Our message is simple. In countries where so many still lack the most basic tools, closing the digital gap is not secondary, it is essential. Because every child deserves the chance to learn, every young person deserves the chance to grow, and every woman deserves the opportunity to move forward with dignity, tools, and hope. And when we make that possible, we are not just expanding access, we are building the future for our families, for our communities, and for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, and thank you to all of you.